Hey everybody, good morning. Sitting here drinking my coffee this morning and just thought I'd pop in and have a quick chat. So, still just getting over this cold a little bit, so if I'm a little grumbly, I apologize. But yeah, voice is coming back. My ears have, or my right ear has popped again, so I can hear out of that. Still pretty much deaf out of my left ear, but that's okay. That's not what this video is about. Wanted to talk quickly about what I've been doing in the meantime while I have been sick to help kind of generate some more sales. I've put a whole bunch more stuff in my Posh US closet. So I use the Sidekick Tools app. Obviously, I've talked about that before. And so the cross-listing side of it is separate, and I've got the silver plan for that. So that gives me 150 listings that I can cross-list and like manipulate. Like 150, that includes if you create a draft there or if you import drafts from an existing store or something. So I've got my eBay, my Posh Canada, and Posh US linked to that. And so I've been importing a ton of my Posh Canada listings and then, like cross-listing them over to Posh US. So the silver plan, I forget how much that is, to be quite honest with you, but that gives you 150 per month that you can do. To me, that's really good because you can obviously maintain your inventory there as well, which is nice. There is some auto delisting, but I always like double check things manually to make sure things are actually delisting from other platforms. I think that's a good practice anyway. And yeah, so I've got a whole bunch of new stuff over on Posh US and been making some sales over there. So I talked before about how it was a little concerning sometimes because the tracking wouldn't update in time by the time it got processed to USPS. That the Poshmark site itself was like getting close to auto canceling orders, or buyers were getting upset or whatever. And so the last two that I sent off was pretty much the same. I had gotten them out of my house within a couple of days, but they left via UPS to Stallion. They got there on a Friday. They started, being processed on Monday. And then it was yesterday, Tuesday, when it actually started like tracking in USPS. So by that point, it had been a week and it was still cutting it pretty close. So I don't know. I'm still kind of concerned about the time frame it takes to actually get things scanned in, especially if the borders are going to be tightened up with all new tariffs and stuff like that. But in any case, I'm going to take my chances on it. I'm going to continue to work with it until it fails for whatever reason. It's just that when I get a Posh US order, I pretty much need to get it out same day or next day via UPS to Stallion. So if that means I don't have a lot of orders, that means that, I'm paying that extra shipping cost and I'm not going to make the same margin on that item. It's okay. I'm all right with that. If it's lower margin sales, but I'm still making those sales and still making some profits, that's fine. It's a good payoff. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to mention that the Sidekick Tools, the cross-listing side of it has been really good because I haven't been able to get out and do a lot of sourcing. So I'm doing a lot of like ending old listings and selling similar. Just trying to like revamp old listings, doing stuff like that. Sourcing from around my house, which is great. We've pulled together quite a bit of stuff we can sell from here. I've continued to sell off, more video game stuff, which is a couple of the items I've got today going out. But yeah, that cross listing definitely helps because it's way better than manually taking everything over from the Posh Canada and moving it to Posh US. So each listing that I do, like each draft, to then cross list it over to Posh US really only takes like a minute. So it's pretty good. But anyways, so we'll stop there. I've got a couple things going out today. Like I said, I'll show you those as we go. It's not much. It's only a couple items today, but a couple of them are time sensitive where people have asked me if I can ship them out right away. So no problem there. We'll take you along as we go. All right, so I had those three things that I really wanted to get out today. There were three big ones. Someone had asked if I could ship very quickly because they're moving and stuff. So
as I was doing it, I realized once I had everything all packed up that I wasn't filming it. And I don't know, I just get into work mode sometimes and I just completely forget to show what I'm doing. So in any case, I'll show some, overlays here. But the first one that went out that was a really good sale was this Ready Edda Stories for PS2. So this was the complete in box game itself and the official strategy guide. So I had this one listed at 90 and I took an offer of 75. That's definitely a good one. It's a good RPG. I played it back in the day and I realized I'm likely not going to play it again anytime soon. So I was like, you know what, I'll just sell it off. And if I really want to play it again, I could either rebuy it or I can emulate PS2. So it's not a big deal. So that was a good one out of my own personal collection. The next was actually a shirt that I was selling for a friend. And this is one that, the person asked if I could sell or ship out quickly. So this was a 2001 signed WWE, like the Hardy Boys from wrestling. This was a shirt that my buddy picked up at when wrestling came to town back in 2001, and he got it signed by the Hardy Boys and their female sidekick Alita. And so this one, he had it listed pretty high for quite a while, but someone offered 65 because there were some condition issues, like some sun fading and stuff like that. So we took it and rushed that one out this morning. So it was a good sale. And then the third out of these, three bigger ones that I wanted to get out was Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time for N64, but this was the Japanese version. So this was complete in box, has the stickers and everything for the different like notes that, anybody who's played the game knows, like you have to like play different songs with your ocarina, which is like a little hand flute type thing. And so that was pretty good. So I had picked that one up really cheap a long time ago for my collection, and it sold for $48. I had it listed for, I think, about $57.99 or somewhere in that range, but I mean, realistically, there's no buy cost to me, so 48 plus ship. So yeah, those are the three. And then I've got another one. I'll just show one of the games here. Left 4 Dead 2 for $360. So this game, has some decent value. It's in that $35 range. I'm actually going to be selling that and another cheaper game locally to somebody who's been buying, quite a few of my games over the last couple of weeks since I've been listing them on Facebook Marketplace as well. So got that in the works, and I got a couple of other things reselling wise I'm going to do today. So this is going to be just one of those kind of jumbled videos that has a mix of everything, but we'll see what's next. I'm not even 100% sure how this will flow, but you'll see in the next clip. Alright, so I thought I'd talk about a couple of items that I recently just picked up. So I haven't been doing a lot of thrifting and sourcing and stuff like I talked about, but I did go back to bowling this week. So I'm filming this on a Wednesday, and I went Monday evening to bowling, first day back after the sickness hit, and it went pretty well, by the way. But I stopped in our little local spot on the way there and just did a quick little browse around the guy's stuff. And you know what? I found some pretty good stuff, like some I only got 4 items, but they were kind of exciting items, and I didn't do like a thrift haul or anything like that, but I thought I'd mention them here. And so I'll just show like screenshots as well, because I've already got these listed. They're already like put in my inventory and stuff. But first thing I found was this New Tags Harley Davidson shirt. Now this isn't a men's small, so it might take a little while to sell, but it's already got quite a few views, which is pretty good. But I've got it listed for $27.99. T-shirts cost me $5.46 after tax. So honestly, even if I take like an offer around $24 or $25 or something like that, still some good profits there. This Fleetwood Mac concert tour shirt from 2018 and 19. So this is pretty cool. It's not big money by any means, but this I've got listed for $24.99. It's in a unisex medium. So again, it might not like, make a lot of money or whatever, but I think it's a cool item. Now here's where we get into a little bit of money. This New England Patriots Julian Edelman jersey, I've sold probably 2 or 3 Edelman jerseys before. And so jerseys cost me after taxes $7.48. I've got this one listed for $49.99. I just put it up yesterday, I believe. It's already got, like 13 views or something. Chances are this is going to sell for at least $40. So $7.50 into 40. Not bad at all. And then the last one, as soon as I saw this, I was like, okay, this has to be good, because I've never seen anything from this player before. So this is Tim Thomas, who was a goalie for the Boston Bruins in like the mid 2000s to like, I think maybe 2012 range or somewhere like that. He was an all-star goalie, you know, pretty good. I'm not a Bruins fan. I'm not like a diehard hockey fan or anything, but I didn't really follow him, but I know who he is, and I know that he was very good. So this Reebok jersey, and it is like a goalie style jersey. It's got like the little lace up and stuff like that. It's probably from that like 2008 era, somewhere around there. It is in a medium, so it's not a great size, but I was looking this up, and you know, plenty of these were listed. Some sold for over $100. New ones that are listed are selling for like 200 and some. So I've put this up for $130. It does already have a watcher. It's not gonna get probably a ton of views. It might take a little while because the right person's gonna have to come along to spend that kind of money, but $750 and a $130. Honestly, if someone offers me like $100, I'm probably gonna take it. Like, you know, it's good profits on that. But yeah, as soon as I saw it though, it's just like, this is a cool item. So glad to have that. So yeah, I just figured I'd share those 4 items that I just put up, you know, within this last couple of days. And then I also had been, so when I was building my video game collection, a lot of times what I would do is in some of these like Facebook auction groups, I'd, you know, build a box of stuff. I'd, you know, bid and win all different kinds of games, accessories, whatever else. And then I'd keep what I wanted and sell off other stuff to either like break even or, you know, get my stuff for really cheap, the stuff that I was keeping. So, you know, I've collected quite a bit of extra kind of spare things. So I was going through my stuff, and I've also listed something like another 20 like various memory cards: PS1, PS2, GameCube, Nintendo 64, and you know, even at like an average of probably $12 a piece, that's still $240 worth of memory cards that I've just listed. So, you know, they might just trickle in, $10 here, $15 there, but again, just another example of sourcing stuff that's in my own house, like things that realistically I don't actually need. It's nice when you're playing lots of games and stuff to think, okay, well, I've got lots of memory cards, and you know, I'm never gonna have to worry about like my save file and stuff. But I mean, I probably had way more than I needed. Obviously, I found 20 that I could sell. So yeah, that's that. I don't know what else I'll talk about in this video, but I might just roll it into tomorrow as well. I did make another sale on Poshmark while I was doing all of this here today, so we'll see where we end up.
All right, so to wrap this video up, I wanted to talk about something, a sale that I just made. Great sale, listed it one day, sold the next. By the time I woke up in the morning, I had a couple of offers, one of which I accepted. But there's a couple little things to talk about here. So this is a Sega 32X. This was an attachment for the Sega Genesis, released, I don't know, about 30 years ago, and it allows you to play 32X cartridges, which, you know, is a little bit more power, a little bit better graphics and stuff. This thing didn't sell too well overall, and that's why, you know, there's not a million of them, or maybe there's a million, but there isn't as many of them as, say, like Super Nintendos or something out there on the market. So this little attachment thing, which I'll show in a second, sells for over $200. And I did actually sell mine for $200, took an offer. I had picked this up as part of a bundle deal, ended up paying $30 for it. And so that's a really good flip, $30 into $200. And again, listed it one day, sold it by the time I woke up the next morning. But one thing I wanted to talk about is that I actually had 2 offers, and one of them was for $10 more, and I took the lower of the 2 offers. Let me explain. So my options were sell it for $210 to somebody in Germany, which, hey, maybe it would have went really well. Maybe there would have been no issues. But in the event that, you know, there was an issue or language barrier, or, you know, the customer made like a false claim that it didn't work or something to that effect, being over in Germany, it would have cost way more for me to get the item back, way more time for that to happen. And so to me, it just wasn't worth
the added risk of shipping international, and especially with a language barrier, for an extra $10. So I sold it to somebody here in Canada, just in Montreal. And while that person may be French, you know, that's less of a language barrier. And actually, I was talking to them in a message, so I know they do understand, was able to respond in some English as well. And again, I can speak some French. I understand it enough. But I'd rather sell domestically for $10 less, just in case an issue arises. So anyways, I'll show you this. It's a pretty cool item. I would have liked to have kept it for myself, but realistically, how can I turn down, you know, flipping something for $170 more than I paid for it, minus fees, of course, but there's still well over $100 worth of profit here. So here is a Sega 32X.
Yeah, so here we go. So it looks just like the cartridge slot that you have on a Genesis. You know, your cartridges go in, but this actually goes right down into your Sega Genesis. So this cartridge slot here is exactly the same as a Sega Genesis game. And this goes down in your Sega Genesis, and then you've got a patch cable that goes from the Genesis to the 32X, and then another one that goes out to your TV. And you do need the adapter, so you need power for this unit as well. And I do have the adapter here and the patch cable, but this needs to be powered, and your Sega Genesis needs to be powered. And so this is one part of what Sega called the, or maybe not Sega called it, I don't know who called it, but it's known as the Tower of Power. So imagine you've got your Sega Genesis sitting right here, and you've got this in it. And then there was also the Sega CD attachment that would go over on the other side. So if you got Sega CD, your Genesis, and the 32X on top, that's known as the Tower of Power, which is really cool, just, you know, expensive as hell. So I was happy to sell this for $200. And yeah, I'll wrap up the video here. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.